Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Liquid, Jinro, and Brown. It is a PvT on Antigua shipyards. I have no clue who this Brown guy is, but I know who Jinro is. I am sure you do too. He is a very talented player. Despite being in a slump, he is still pretty darn good, and he has such a interesting late game TVP. It is just spectacular. He even does it in TVZ and TVT. If you don't know what his late game is, it is nuclear warfare. Yes, Jinro is a big player of nukes, and that's why I love watching his games. If he manages to get to the late game, it is just so interesting to watch. We have seen him even nuke himself, but everyone did love that. His reaction to nuking himself was pretty darn hilarious. Anyways, if you don't know who Jinro is, he did leave school at the age of 16, 7 years ago, to become a professional Brood War player, I believe it was. Well, I know he left school at 16. I'm pretty darn sure it was to become a Brood War player. It may have been do something else, but 99% sure it was to become a Brood War player. And then 7 years later, we have him now playing StarCraft 2 at the professional level in a slump, and he is actually losing motivation. He doesn't like StarCraft 2 as much as he likes Brood War, thinking about retiring and playing poker, but once Heart of the Swarm comes out, I am sure that Jinro will regain his love for the game, since mech play is going to be getting buffed, and it just adds a whole new dynamic since you can go mech or bio in any matchup. I guess in Zerg you can go mech. Well, in TVT, if that little warhead missile thing comes out, then you won't be able to go mech in TVT, and that will just be absolutely horrible. Hopefully that doesn't get put in. But anyways, to the current game and to this game, we do have Brown going out to scout at 15. And Jinro hasn't gone out to scout just yet. Is going to see the probe enter his base, and now it's an odd spot for the barracks. Not a complete wall, and I don't know what that's going to be doing, but yeah, we do have the SCV going out to scout. Since Brown did scout, as long as he holds like this one watchtower, he'll be able to see the SCV come back, and that is absolutely huge. At this level of the game, seeing where that SCV is big, it's not because they're going to proxy a building, it's because they're going to go for a second scout, and that second scout is going to tell them if you're doing like a 5-gate rush or a 7-gate rush, or any of those things that just put so much pressure on the town. They need multiple bunkers and stuff to hold it off. So Jinro, hopefully he'll come in here, get a scout on the base, get the heck out, hide his SCV, and then go back in and try to get a delayed scout off on see what Brown is up to, so that can tell him how much he needs to prepare for any type of attack. The Terran player kind of tells the Protoss, hey, can you go for a 1-gate expand or not? And that is by saying if he's going to go for a 2 racks or not. And then the Protoss kind of tells the Terran player what type of defense he needs at his natural, because he will be doing he has the ability to put on a lot of pressure. So we do see Jinro's SCV going out to hide. The probe going to go on this one watchtower. I thought he'd be on this one, but going into the vision, the probe can have a relatively good idea if the SCV does return home, unless he takes like this weird path. The Stalker is going out to scout. You see, he knows the SCV is missing and just barely missed the SCV off on the edge. Stalker going out, and while the Stalker goes out, that means the SCV does have a chance to sneak his way back in the base. So the Stalker can't really go out for too long. He should return home if he gives up, because now the SCV does have a chance. We do not have another Stalker being produced. So Jinro, are you going to send your SCV in or not? I think it's at 5:30 is the time a lot of Terran players like sending their SCV in. Then that is enough time to get in the base around 6 minutes. And at 6 minutes, you can kind of get a good idea of what they are going to be going or what build. Well, he's going to leave it and try to get in at 5:30. I don't know the exact timing. All the players play it a little bit differently. The key thing he wants to look for is this gas. Not seeing that gas there is going to be a little bit concerning, but we do have Brown now just taking that gas, and also Jinro sees the robo facility. So the only thing he has to really prepare against is like a double immortal push out, and that is a lot easier to scout than one of those 7 gates, and does come a lot later. So Jinro going to keep that SCV as live as long as possible. Can see that about 500 gas has been mined. And that is decent to know, because he hasn't seen any sentries. He's only seen this one Stalker, which means, well, that is 50 right there, 25. And Robo Facility, that's 100. Let me double check on that. Yeah, 100, so 225. So he knew how much gas Brown had. And that is how you kind of can scout a Protoss, and that will give him an idea. He does have a Reaper out, and that Reaper hasn't really done all that much. I think it's at 0 kills, just holding the watchtower. Very odd opener for Jinro, just going with that Reaper. I don't know what it's meant to do. Maybe it's meant to try to kill any type of probe that tries to build a forward pylon. Reapers kill pylons extremely fast. Didn't get to see it do anything, so we don't know exactly why Jinro got that going on 3 gases, and that's enough gas to just build an infinite number of bio. Generally, Terran's players sit on 3 gas for some time. If he takes his 4th gas relatively soon, that will be something to keep an eye on and see what he exactly does, because it's not like he's going to be building mech. So why would he take a 4th gas when all he can build are bio units, which is Marauders for gas, medevacs, and upgrades? He doesn't have enough buildings or unit production that uses gas to actually take this. So if Brown saw that 1 gas, then he may be thinking something's up besides bio, and that is kind of like Banshees. That would be one of the time the Banshees do come. Observer is going to come, see that 1 factory building, so he does get a timing of that, and the factory timing will tell him what time drops will be coming out. Sees it complete, so now he knows in 2 minutes that drops could probably start approaching his base, so a little bit more than 2 minutes, but that is the general time. The Starport takes 50 seconds to build. The medevacs, I think 45, I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but we do have the probe now moving out for Brown. Is he going to be taking a 3rd base up here? Is this going to be a forward pylon? The 1 Reaper still just chilling out and down here, waiting for the 3rd base to come up, trying to get that 1 timing as the Observer does come here, sees this group of Marines, and Brown will most likely start going into Colossus Tech as he already has his Robo facility. Seeing that big clump of Marines is just screaming to get Robo Tech. We do have Brown going for 1-1 upgrades right now, and I don't like this. This is bad in my opinion. Having both the Forges and the Twilight Council in the same spot on the edge of the base, which means a medevac could just come down, kill the pylon, delay 3 upgrades, kill a Forge, take out a lot of Chronos and the upgrade as well. So that is one thing that I really don't like seeing. I hate seeing the Forges on the edge, and I especially hate seeing the 3 upgrade buildings on the edge all together powered by the same pylon. So we do have the 1 probe still just hanging. Maybe he's trying to watch for medevacs just coming out. And now Jinro is going to be moving out with his clump of Marines and 2 Marauders. No Colossus out just yet. I don't see the Robo Bay to build the Colossus. Just the Robo facility getting some Immortals out with these sentries. Brown can hold this, but it can be relatively tough for him to hold it. Jinro does have stim, doesn't have combat shields, or does he? No, he does. He has combat shields, my bad. Couldn't see the shield on the Marine, but I realized, oh, I can just look at their health and tell. Factory coming out and going to see the probe on that watchtower, so now Jinro knows he has been scouted, and the probe is going to be taken out as Jinro does start moving ahead. Plenty of units now ready to greet him at this 1 ramp. Jinro going to start taking out those destructible rocks, so the force fields don't just insta-gib all his Marines. I know force fields don't kill them, but get the force fields down, Marines can't run away. Zealots will do massive amounts of damage. And Jinro deciding not to move up, just trying to bait some force fields. Does bait 3 force fields. Good bait. The sentries all have like max energy, so you don't want all the sentries to have max energy. We do have the Robo Bay just about done, so that Colossus production will be starting. And if Jinro wanted to be sneaky, he could just kind of move back and hide 2 medevacs. And then Brown may pull units back to try to deal with a drop. Jinro trying to force his way up this 1 ramp. It is not happening, and now he is backing off. But again, just wasting all that sentry energy. You saw them all at 200 now. He's got like 2 with 100. Jinro going to go and double check that there is no 3rd base. The 1 factory is there, still spots all the units. Jinro going to be backing off, says, okay, no 3rd base. I'm getting my 3rd base up, so I am in good shape. And we do have Brown getting ready to try to intercept this yet again. Does he have an observer watching this army?
Research complete.
Yeah, he does. The observer is right here on that little high ground. Medevac, sound like it picked up units. There we go. Medevac is going in through the north, but there are pylons scattered about to spot these medevacs that are coming. Looks like it will be missed, but the medevac isn't going to be really where any of the vital structure is. All of it is in this back of the base. Marauders are going to be dropping insta-zealot warp in to try to deny any Marauder aggression. There we go. Marauders get sniped, but Jinro going to be running up the ramp. Keep in mind, he has wasted so much sentry energy that Brown can't really just throw down 20 force fields. Jinro has been so patient with this attack. Those force fields go down. That is all the sentry energy with that 1 Guardian Shield. Once that does go away, then Brown's units will be vulnerable, but the Colossus does make it out. He held on just long enough. Brown is going for a 2-2, so is Jinro. Both players about halfway there, but we do have the Chrono Boost. Medevac is there, does spot this one pylon. We do have Zealots now whooped in to deal with this third base of Jinro as Brown is taking his third base. Jinro is going to be falling back, taking out these pylons. Of course, he knows about this one pylon, and he will be finding this one. And those Zealots do get taken out by that Marauder. And there goes the pylon. We do have the third base just about completed, about 3/4 of the way there. Brown, once he gets up to 3 Colossus, most likely he will be moving out. 3 seems to be the magic number that a lot of Protoss players feel confident about. If he waits till like 4 or 5, it will be strong, but it does give Jinro enough time to get enough Vikings out to just kill them all. And Jinro, with a small hit force of units, going out to take the 2 pylons. He doesn't know about these 2, but he killed this one and now this pylon. And that doesn't supply cap Brown one bit. Going to the workers, it is 61 SCVs to 69 probes, both players killing 3 workers. And now Jinro just going about finding all the other pylons. This one Marine, is he going to see that? Yes, he does. 2 more Zealots going in to try to harass that third base. Jinro doesn't have any units right there, but there is a bunker there, so he can just run his units and get in there. And now more units are going to come to take out this one pylon. Zealots kind of just hanging out, though not ready to run in just yet. We do have an observer sitting right here. You can see Jinro with his Marines still just going around the map. The Templar Archives now just about done. 3-3 has started for the Protoss player. Jinro is getting +3 armor, not going for the +3 armor, +3 weapons, not going for +3 armor just yet. Instead, he is using that gas on +1 weapons for ships. So as Vikings just take out Colossus a little bit faster. And we do have Brown not moving out with the 3 Colossus. Instead, he is getting some Templars up, 1 Archon already being morphed. It's a little bit odd to see the Archon morph just immediately. But then again, he is not researching Storm. So it looks like Brown just wants to get these Archons. The Archons are very good against Marines. Maybe he's hoping that Jinro overproduced to deal with the Colossus. And then the Archons will be the units that actually kill all the Marines. Because the Vikings would just insta-gib all the Colossus, but the Archons would be sitting here laughing. But there's no shield upgrades. With this strategy, I think it may be beneficial to get a shield upgrade or 2 just to help your Archons out a little bit, because you're kind of depending on your Colossus to go down instantly to all these Vikings. Then you're depending on your Archons to do the DPS. And if you have the shield upgrades, then your Archons absorb a lot more. They have a lot of shield, 350. So the shield upgrade really does help. I think this may be one of those scenarios where thinking about getting the shield upgrade would be beneficial. Handful of Stalkers just going to deal with this bio. It's important to know that's not his entire force, just keeping it in small groups. When he wants to move out, his whole army wants to protect this 4th base. And Jinro hasn't taken his 4th base yet, so the Protoss will be starting to pull ahead on macro. We do see 2 command centers being built by Jinro. So maybe one will be a defensive PF and the other will be a base, or he may just try to double expand. Double expanding would be relatively risky. But the Protoss player hasn't been aggressive all game. However, since he hasn't been aggressive all game, isn't it about time that he's due for some aggression? You always got to start thinking about that. The Zealot is going to be going down to that kiting Marauder if the others don't kill him first. More Marauders do come, and that one is taking the drugs, running all the way away. Meanwhile, Jinro trying to get his army in to get a flank on the Protoss army. However, Brown is moving down here, going to be getting a pylon. Looks like he is going to be trying to go in from down there, maybe not. Just going to get this one pylon, leaving these Templars here just to storm. It is the ramp, so as long as they storm the ramp, that Jinro cannot go up it. And now it looks like Brown is going to be hanging out right here. The scan goes down. Jinro knows where this army is. And those Vikings just want to go. There we go. Picks off that one observer. And picking off the observers is a huge. Even though it's not going to really do anything to the Colossus count because he stopped building them, it always makes a Protoss player edgy when he doesn't have an observer to see where the army is, and also prevents these Templars from doing those just perfect storms. A lot of bio going down there. There's only 3 medevacs to start healing that up. The 4th base does get built by Jinro. Small handful of units right here. No medevac there, so he's not going to be doing a drop. The Ghost does run away, so he doesn't get involved in that AoE from the Archon. EMP also went off to help take it out. Losing an Archon for nothing, pretty darn good. The one Marine right here sees that the Protoss player wants to start taking his 4th base. Also has units up here. Or 5th base, I should say, because this is the 4th base. And Brown is just going to fortify this position even more, getting 3 cannons up by this one pylon. He does not want to lose this position. This may be Well, maybe it won't be as another base because, well, he's kind of blocked it in with cannons. So maybe it fits just perfectly right here. Because the way he's expanding, it would be very easy to take this base and a little bit harder to take this. We do have 3 DTs on the way to try to take out another, or more of Jinro's econ, but missile turrets have started going up. Cloak is researched for those ghosts at least 10 more seconds until it is. The DTs are going to see the exact timing of this 5th base. And now those DTs going to try to kill those Marauders, but a scan does go off. And those Marauders are just going to be running away at the same time. It looked like Brown may have wanted to engage. That would be the perfect time to engage when your opponent is microing his Marauders against your DTs. And here we go. He is going in here. Do we have EMPs? There we go. Some good EMPs go off. No storms just yet. Those Vikings demolishing the Colossus. You can see those Urkons really low. The 2 in the back out of shield. So now Jinro is going in for the attack. But now Templars throwing down those storms. Jinro coming out way ahead in that engagement, I would say. And this one, Urkon may go down before it even finishes. And yes, Urkon will be taken out. Those cannons will definitely help this engagement. Even putting more pylons so he doesn't have a toes of pylons there. That Templar does get double EMP'd immediately. And now Jinro going to start taking out all of these cannons. Starting to take back the map control that he wants. 5 ghosts on the way with 3 Marines. Medevac's going to start healing that Bioforce back up because they did stem quite a bit to deal with that. And they also took a storm to the face. And those 2 Marauders are going to try to deal with these DTs, but they do get taken out. Now the Mistard is in trouble. We do have the PF just about halfway, and another Mistard is all the way down here. Meanwhile, we do have the Protoss player going in to put a little bit more aggression on. EMPs do go down on those Urkons yet again, and Brown is forced to retreat. Even though the storm's off, that is just not enough. Jinro playing this game so well, now even sniping those Templars, saying, nope, you're not going to EMP storm me anymore, or even get a chance to mate. Viking's going to come, take out the Colossus. Beautiful splitting by Jinro right now with his Marines, cutting those Zealots back, moving them back slowly but surely. And only 1 Urkon is left. These Vikings now going to be landing. Urkon gets taken out. This Immortal and a few Stalkers are left. Those Vikings actually adding quite a bit of DPS to this force. And Jinro is going to be pushing the Protoss player back yet again. We do have a Warp Prism right here, but there is a PF right next to it. And Jinro just building so many command centers right now. And a PF there, PF here, Orbital Command here, PF there. I mean, here PF, there PF, everywhere PF. PF is kind of what Jinro's attitude is. And still just loves those nukes. Back up to 8 ghosts going into this Lost Tab. We do see Jinro being a little bit more efficient than the Protoss player. But I do think Brown has mind a bit more, getting this 5th base and 4th base and 5th base up before Jinro. Brown's upgrades are at 3-1-3. Jinro, he is sitting at 3-3 and +1 on his ships. He has to be careful because if Brown does get to 3-3-3, this Gateway force is just going to be outrageously strong with the +3 shield upgrades with the armor and weapons. Jinro needs to end the game before that does happen. And, well, he doesn't need to, but generally that's what I see Terran players trying to do. Once Protoss gets to 3-3-3, Bio is not really that effective against Gateway units, especially them Zealots. But Jinro is not one of the players who skimps on the Marine count and just masses Marauders, keeping an even count, actually slightly more Marines than Marauders, actually maybe imbalanced now. Nope, 17 Marines to 16 Marauders, and that is definitely key, because Marauders do less DPS to Zealots than Marines do. Marines are the big damage dealers to Zealots. Pylon is going down. This one Nexus does get canceled. Jinro still has decent map control, and now 3 sensor turrets have gone up, so you can see anything but those cloaked units like that Observer just hanging out right there. Meanwhile, Brown making even more Archons. Once they get to 3 shields, that will be good. And Jinro getting a little bit frustrated, switching back to his old ways. 4 nukes on the way. Like I said, Jinro is not as scared to do nuclear warfare. And the Protoss player, I mean, he can't use nukes. So, Jinro, I mean, if anything war has taught me, nukes are pretty darn powerful. 1 nuke will change the game. If it lands on whose army, that is for us to find out. Stalkers blinking forward, trying to pick off those Vikings. Jinro definitely did start skipping on the ship weapon upgrades, and I don't really agree with that. Should always be getting upgrades, especially when you're at this type of money that both players are at. Jinro, 2K, 1.5K, 2K, 1.5K. Both players actually have the same bank. You do have a nuke right there. Another ghost going down here. Another ghost over here. And there's more ghosts. Nope, those are SCVs and Marauders. Nuke on this one base. Nuke this area. That lands. This one base is next. Looks like this one will hit. Just take out a few probes. Maybe get a Templar. And now the next nuke. Oh my god, this is going to take out so much. Ghost goes up to 16 kills. And Brown kind of just hanging back. He's like, I don't know where I can move. Even more nukes going off right there. This one's not. Where is the other nuke? I thought I heard two, but I only see one. These probes going to be running away. And Jinro lands yet another nuke. The pylon and cannon do go down. Brown is pulling his units back. Jinro, that is an SCV, not a ghost. Got to keep an eye on all of this. The ghost wants to get another nuke off, and he does. And the army not going back there. It does take, I think, 5 nukes to kill a Nexus because of that shield regen. 4 nukes simultaneously, and 3 Zealots coming in. Sees the ghost, and the nuke is not going to land. But I heard another one go off, I thought. I don't know where. There it is. Storm's going off. Jinro trying to pull units into this nuke. Stalkers are going to be retreating into the nuke. That Archon did not get scathed at all. Was just far enough away. Jinro trying his best to bait his opponent into the nukes. Another nuke is going off. Somewhere. I actually don't... Okay, there it is. Jinro is just massing these nukes out. We do have Gravatic boosters, so the observers can move a little bit faster. So the Protoss player has a hope of trying to find where all these ghosts are hiding at. Small Bioforce down here to try to take out this one base before it even goes up. And it looks like this Bioforce will get taken down. Jinro rebuilding his nukes, getting 3 right now. I don't know if he has any in his arsenal. Yes, he does have 1. And using the ghost right here, nuking this area. And Brown, of course, I believe sees that, gets the ghost, and this ghost will be taken down. Jinro will immediately probably rebuild that ghost, throwing down a scan, and looks like he wants to take out this base, sending 2 Marauders just to get an eye on where this army is. Now sees it and is going to be backing on off. Meanwhile, Jinro wants to take his next base, and the map will be completely divided. Vikings, though, still at just 1-0. Building Vikings, not getting those upgrades. And that is definitely a slip-up by Jinro. Just focused on nuking, and these 3 SCVs, they're warriors, but unfortunately they do go down. Nuke is getting placed right here. Gets a scan off to give vision. These 2 observers do see that, and killing the ghost is always a little bit risky because you do run the danger of the nuke actually landing. And a nuke landed right there. I didn't even know that nuke was going off. Jinro is just massing nukes right now. This ghost, is he going to get taken out? Yes, it looks like he is. I thought I heard another nuke go off in the back. I don't know where it is. Maybe it did not go down. I don't see any. Ghost is coming up, and yet another nuke. Scanning to try to find where the observers are that are finding his ghost. And this Nexus now going to be in danger, as Jinro has shown us he knows where to place his ghost to get nukes off from where you wouldn't expect, like right here to here. And he can just contain areas. I suggest you watch any game of Entombed Valley with Jinro, because he does that such a good job. Gets EMPs off, or doesn't get EMPs off, but that ghost count at 22 is just enough to scare the Protoss player away. 2 more nukes being built, even though Jinro has 2 more in stock. So he is going to go back up on 4 nukes. And will he actually take out this Nexus? Going to get the scan off. Doesn't see any observers. No, he doesn't. Are there any out? There are 6 observers out. And there is one with the army. Nuke is going in. Their storms were so good going on that ramp. Actually trying to storm the ghost to death in an Archon. Are they going to go down? And no Archons go down. 1 High Templar does. This Archon runs out of shields. Those Vikings in the meantime, though, did pick off 1 or 2 Colossus. Ghost is going to be laying another nuke. Even throws the scan, trying to keep an eye where these observers are. Maybe the observers died in a nuke. There's only 5 out instead of the 6. Yet another nuke does go down on this one cannon. Jinro slowly pushing into this base with nukes. And Brown doing a great job at not getting hit by a single nuke so far. I can't even count how many nukes it is. I'm guessing at least 20 so far this game. That Nexus slowly burning to the ground from nukes. The PF is here. Doesn't have the PF armor upgrade, I don't think. And that is going to be falling very quickly. No nukes here for Jinro. But moving out means Jinro does have a chance to nuke your retreat path. And nice EMPs off on those Templar. And at the same time, I hear snipes going off in another nuke. Down back at this one base, I'm kind of surprised Jinro hasn't tried to nuke, contain his army, but Brown has been placing cannons everywhere, so it's hard for the Ghost to move around. That Zealot was trying to take out the Ghost, but just couldn't. The Bioforce did save him, even nuking now the path where the Press would be coming to defend this one Nexus. So this is going down. You can just keep seeing the nukes. Is Brown going to go? No, he isn't. Too smart for that. Knows where those nukes are. I just get so used to hearing nuclear launch detected that I wouldn't know when there's a nuke on the map or not, just because it seems to be happening 4 times a minute. And those nukes having exactly a minute build time, so that's why I said 4 times a minute, because when they're up, Jinro's been using them. We do have this one refinery now going to be falling. All it takes is one nuke from Jinro to seal the deal. Observer sitting right here can see where Jinro's army is. Going back to the count, there are 6 observers again on the field. Going back to the Protoss vision, you can see he has a really nice vision around the map. Ghost is going to be cloaking, trying to snipe this one Templar. There he goes. Now going to be retreating. Get an EMP off on all those Archons. That would be nice. But no, he is just going to be retreating. His Ghost got hit, so he knew there was an observer somewhere. Just going to be laying a nuke down because why the heck not? Doesn't want the Protoss engaging his army, so just puts a nuke there. Contains that whole area. And from time to time, I just have to keep looking around the map to make sure there are no more nukes, and 2 nukes did go off. That Nexus does get canceled. And the nukes are going to land, not hit the army, and uh-oh, Vikings getting a little bit close, but they will be retreating just in the nick of time. He doesn't want to lose all his Vikings to one of his own nukes. That would be absolutely humiliating. And this is a unique way to deal with 333 Gateway. Just say, you know what? I'm not going to engage you until your army gets hit with a nuke. And eventually, once I shoot off 100 nukes, one of them's bound to land, right? That one EMP completely whiffed right there. I don't know what that was about. But when you have this number of Ghosts, you kind of have unlimited EMPs. Another command center is being built by Jinro. And, small force is going in. Those Ghosts do get stormed. One Ghost dies. And we're waiting to see the battle come. Bunches of Ghosts here, and those Templar could go on a feedbacking binge if they wanted to. But instead, just storming because I guess they're not a big fan of binge eating. Like, okay, there's too many to do that. Let's just nibble at them all. And there's Colossus still at the 4 count. Really no units have died in the past 10-15 minutes. It's kind of just been a nuclear stalemate. Brown, a little bit scared to move anywhere. And Jinro has just been picking off building after building with nuke after nuke. And getting that Templar sniped so quickly thanks to that one watchtower. 2 nukes going down. Back at this one base saying, no, you can't mine there. And going to be using nukes to take out cannons just so his Ghost can move across the map more freely. And Brown, Jinro throws the scan, even starting nukes at his own base. Defensive nuke if I have ever seen one. And will he end up canceling that? There we go. Does get canceled. The observer does go down. And Brown is forced to pull back yet again. Jinro, with these nukes, is just putting Brown in one of these odd situations. And I have to give it to Brown. He knows how to dodge those nukes. This must be one of the most frustrating games for him to play. Just when he's been worried about nukes non-stop. Scan does go down by Jinro. He is going to be coming in with a Bioforce and also going to be coming in with another nuke. Trying to hit this army, and uh-oh, Brown is on top of it, but he is on top of the Ghost as well. Ghost does go down. There's Templar in the back, and here we go. Brown is finally going to be engaging. So many EMPs go off. Those Archons just get decimated. And Urkon is being morphed. Brown is just going to be pulling on back, going to the units. 40 SCVs, 260 pros, but both players maxing the minerals like no other. All those ghosts are cloaked, and they gotta be careful. They can't stay cloaked forever. If all the ghosts go out of energy, that will be extremely bad. And now kind of a split going. Those Zealots just get melted by that ghost DPS. There's Urkons going down. Templars coming in. They just morph into Urkons immediately. Throws a scan, knows there's no observers right here, and that means his ghosts are safe to come in and still just start cleaning up this army. There's ghosts not really falling, taking out so much, but at the same time, they're losing so much energy, which means even though Jinro will have a handful of ghosts, he won't be able just to max EMP the army. And look at how quick Zealots go down to those ghosts. They're dealing out 26 damage a shot. Well, actually, they're dealing out 23 or 24 damage a shot because the Zealots have their armor. Stalker's coming in, blinking in, trying to pick off Viking after Viking. 2 Colossus being built, and both these players could probably... Whoa, my bad there. Could probably max out very quickly. I can't wait. After this game, we will look at their production. Because something tells me, even though Jinro, he had the 4 nuke academies, or ghost academies, might as well just call them nuke academies because that's what they're used for. But he didn't really get that many more barracks. You can see he's not producing much bio at a time. He has used all his minerals up, surprisingly very fast. But Protoss player, re-maxed out, still has a lot in the bank. Cannon's going down. This one pylon is being built. Another cannon right here, just kind of saying, nope, don't nuke directly on my Nexus. I have some type of static detection. Not really for static defense at this point, just mainly for that detection. Jinro 158 supply versus the Protoss at 199. And oh, there goes a nuke! And it's not going to land. Protoss army is going up into the double planetary fortress, sandwiched by PFs right now. SCV is trying to repair one of them. Jinro is going to be coming in. There's Vikings trying to take out those Colossus. Vikings still just at 1-0. Nuke does land, and Jinro is pulling on back. 105 supply. Did that nuke hit his own army? Or did he just... Oh, he lost a lot of SCVs. That's why supply did drop. And this is not looking good for Jinro. But again, at this point, it doesn't even take one perfect nuke, because the Protoss player should be able to build 100 supply of gateway units instantaneously. Quickly going to his gateway count, you can see not as high as I would like it, but it is still pretty high. At 19 gateways, can produce 38 supply, I believe that is, instantaneously. And that is not to mention the double robo for Colossus that are producing. Brown has pretty much eliminated Jinro's, well, he hasn't eliminated the mining bases. This one is still up, actually, with the triple PF right there. And more nukes going down. Still at this one base, and I don't like all the gateways being clumped up. Can you imagine if Ghost got in here and just decimated the gateway production? Holy cow, would that be good. And that Nexus just getting tapped on, losing 125 HP because the nuke was not right on top of it. Jinro can no longer produce nukes. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Jinro doesn't have any nukes left. Now has 100 gas. Will he be using that on units or nukes? That is a hard call. Does have 5 Vikings being built. And now the Protoss army just stood the storm. Nuclear winter doesn't affect robots. And looks like those Marines ate a little bit too much radiation. Can no longer reproduce. They're producing mutant babies, which are nowhere near as strong as, well, the Protoss robots. Just like, oh, radiation? I don't really care about that. Storms are going down. And Jinro going to be trying to take out this base yet again. And going to the army size, it is 110 versus 147. Maybe if Jinro gets a miracle nuke off, it will work, but he doesn't even have a nuke in his bag of tricks. As the Protoss is coming in, Jinro is feeling that dagger slowly slip up underneath his rib, as he knows this game has slipped away, and there goes the GG. We will be going into SC2 gears. It won't hurt on Jinro too much for his production, because he did use all that money very quickly. Doesn't have, well, I guess he does have quite a bit of barracks and starport, so does have quite a bit of production. maybe wasting all those nukes. We'll see how many nukes were built. That will be a good thing to look at. I am opening up SE2 gears right now, so bear with me. We'll see how much money he used on nukes, because maybe that's what did it. Once the armies traded, the Protoss player may have just had enough money to rebuild, and since Jinro, he was using the nukes so inefficiently, he didn't have the money to rebuild, because while the Protoss was just mining and not spending, Jinro was mining and spending, building 4 nukes a minute, pretty much. So, going into the replay momentarily, just finding it. And who is this? Brown? There we go. And we're going to see the nuke count, because I cannot wait to see this. And also, don't forget to subscribe to me. That would be a big, big help. If you subscribe to my things and watch me daily, that would be awesome. I do cast daily. I've even been casting like a series a day instead of my replay a day, which means you can just pick what game you want to watch. 35 nukes landed, 52 built. Oh my god, Jinro. That is a lot of money. 5,200 spent in nukes. And 5,200 gas as well. Of course, the nukes did some damage, but I don't think they did 5,200 worth of damage. 41 storms that game. We can just take out the Protoss so we can look at all of Jinro's stuff. 47 snipes, 69 EMPs, 54 scans, 67 stims, going over into Protoss land. 41 storms, 36 blinks. Well, the blink's not too good. Only 2 feedbacks. Interesting. 97 chrono boost, and how many mules landed? 78 mules. So let's go over into unit tiers. And both these players have relatively nice macros. Since the game was so long, we can probably go in granularity of 10. And that's what I really hate about this. This is a dynamic bar, so I never really know how much like the scale is. It is so hard to tell what 30 seconds is, so I don't know what a production cycle is, so I can't really say how long buildings have been idle. I am going to put in a request for something like that to be added. That would be very, very nice. It may even be a setting that I have missed. So, what else do we want to watch? We're going to look at the units, see how many ghosts were built. That would be cool. 71 ghosts, 51 Vikings, 195 Zealots, 23 Colossus, 71 Templars. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff indeed. APM tab. And yeah, that'll pretty much sum up this cast. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care. I will see you guys next time.